have a conjunction coming up very soon on the 20th of April, though it's been in effect since October 23 and will be all the way through till June 24. And it's a conjunction between Uranus and Jupiter, a very powerful conjunction in the sign of Taurus. And I've recorded another video which I think I've called something along the lines of the Uranus conjunct Jupiter 2024 video, and it's probably worth watching that video. It's 20 minutes long before tuning into this video. The other video is more of a collective cosmic approach to the conjunction and what it means for all of us on a collective level. Whereas this video, I'm going to take the conjunction through the houses, where it sits in each of your personal charts and what it means personally for you, and how you can best respond to this collective conjunction that's happening in the skies at the moment. I will put the link to the other video in the description below. You may just wish to jump straight to this video if you already know a bit about the higher purpose, let's say, of this conjunction. But if you're interested, then please go and watch that other video. And also, before I start, I would like to please request that if you have enjoyed this video, please like it. Please hit the like button, and if possible, subscribe. But at the least, please like the video. I'm trying to get this content pushed up in terms of it being seen by as many people as possible, and liking it really helps. And when there is so much content, especially content on this particular astrological event that's very misleading, I'm really trying to push out the stuff that's more meaningful and has integrity within the astrological field. So please like it. So this is a video about what the conjunction means for you personally through the houses. So you each have a natal chart. You can calculate the natal chart on astro.com. Just visit www.astro.com and click birth charts, and you can enter in your birth details and you can generate a chart, and you will see something much like what's behind me here. You will see 12 houses, as they're called. These are these sections here behind me, divided by lines. They're different sizes for different reasons, but there are 12 pizza slices. And then you will see the planetary symbols here, and you will then be able to see where Uranus and Jupiter sits within your natal chart. But you will also be able to see the transits, so where that is moving now for you in the moving sky. So it's constantly changing for all of us, but it will be sitting in one particular personal house for you. So the sign for Uranus, if I could just point to it, is that one there. It looks a little bit like an aerial. So for here, it's in the 7th house. So we've counted 1, 2, and all the way through to here. This is 5, 6, and house 7. And that's Uranus over there. And Jupiter is sitting for this person. Actually, this is the natal chart. So Uranus is in the 7th house for them natally. This is a transit chart. So actually, you can't quite see the symbols on here, but this is the conjunction up here of Uranus and Jupiter in the moving transit chart around the edge. If you just click transit chart, then you should be able to see around the outer edge where those symbols are. I'm just seeing if I can get to Jupiter, but I can't see where it is in this chart to show you the symbol. So basically, Jupiter looks like a number 4 with a line through it. If you're not sure, then just Google symbol, astrological symbol for Jupiter, astrological symbol for Uranus. Then when you open your chart with transits, there's a drop-down box. You can select current transits for today's date or the 20th of April. Then you will be able to recognize the symbols, and you'll be able to see which house that they are sat in. And you count anti-clockwise. So there will always be a straight horizontal line here on the left-hand side of your chart as you are looking at it, as you are looking at the screen now. and the first house below, the first section of pizza below it is the first house. And then you count sections all the way round, and it's always 1 through to 6. And then when you get above this horizontal line, when you're looking on the right hand side, then it starts 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, ending in 12 here. So remember, your natal placement is the inner wheel here, and your transit moving placement for this conjunction is the outer wheel here. So this is the symbol of Pluto. So you can see for this person at the moment, this is actually Arnold Schwarzenegger's chart. He has got transiting Pluto, which moves very slowly, so it stays here for a long time, in the 12th house at the moment, whereas his natal Pluto is actually down here in the 5th house. So hopefully that's helpful, and will mean that you can make better use of this video. Some of you obviously may know all of this already, but just in case you're watching this and you don't know too much about astrology and how to calculate charts. So as I spoke of in my last video, we are talking about the themes of this Uranus-Jupiter conjunction. So the main themes are about shaking up your belief systems, shaking up your personal dogma. It's about breaking free from the herd, from collective mentality somehow. It's about taking a bird's eye objective view rather than a narrow personal view on something. And it's about taking risks of some kind. So you personally can make a contribution to the collective evolution of our consciousness by shaking up your beliefs and dogma, by taking risks, by breaking free from the herd somehow, and by taking an objective, impersonal view in a certain area of your life, which is indicated by these houses. So at this time, it's a really good idea to do all of those things I've just mentioned in that particular area of life. And this will be very potent and powerful for you as a person, for your happiness and for your own growth and evolution, but also will make a contribution to our collective evolution as well. So the conjunction happening through the houses. So let's start with the first house, which is obviously this one down here. And again, it'll be different sizes for everybody. But you're looking just between the two lines here. Excuse me. So the first house, if the conjunction is happening in your first house, so you are at the moment being called to shake up your beliefs and personal dogma on who you are as an individual, what your identity is, what you want from life, how you want to shape your own life into being what you want it to be. So this is a very powerful place, the first house, for this conjunction to be landing in. And it will be there for quite some time because Uranus moves very slowly, Jupiter a little faster, but still it will be there. That conjunction will be there for several months in effect. So this is a fairly long-lasting transit. So over the next few months, it's important that you take stock of your identity and your personality, your sense of self, who people see you as, and make radical changes if needs be to that identity and that sense of self. Take risks in becoming somebody new, take risks in becoming, making decisions for shaping up your life in new directions. This is a real transformation of your personality and your life overall. So this is a really big one. When we move to the second house, the next one round, which is here, then we are talking about your personal values and your sense of self-worth. What you derive your sense of self-worth and values from needs to be shaken up, to take some risks in this area, to think differently about these things, to truly break free from herd mentality about what self-worth and value really means. We often, as a society, believe that self-worth comes from our status or amount of money in our bank account or our looks, for example. It's time for you to shake this up and break free from these things and define your own sense of self-worth and values that are true to you, no matter how different they might be. There may be events occurring or issues occurring around money and your relationship to money. and taking financial risks, perhaps taking a more objective, impersonal view of your finances, or breaking free again from herd thinking around money and income. And with safety and security, breaking free from the collective ideas about what safety and security truly means. So moving on to the third house, the next house around. So this is the house of perceptions and your general kind of ideas and understanding of the world around you. It's the lens that you wear over your eyes and how you perceive the world around you, how you interpret the world around you. So it's about really shaking up how you see the world, shaking up your perceptions, expanding them, breaking free from the herd, with what you think about all the information coming in around you, taking a different view on it, an objective view on that information, detaching yourself from the information from a bird's eye perspective, thinking about things more holistically, interpreting things and life and events around you more holistically and objectively. It's also the house of learning. So this is a really good time to learn something new, take on a new course, read a new book, have new conversations. It's all about expanding your mind and changing your mind. So any opportunity you have in life to change your mind and expand your worldview, this is a really good thing to do at this time. Moving on to the fourth house. The fourth house is the house of family and the house of clan. Often it does mean your immediate family network, your immediate family members, but it also means any sense of family clan. You could have a very strong family relationships with your work colleagues, for example, or even family relationships with your dearest friends. So it's all about breaking free from any family or clan mentalities that have been holding you back and tying you down. Do you believe, for example, that family comes first? Well, that's a good thing to believe. But if that family member or several family members are abusing you, then maybe that belief system isn't such a good idea. So it's about reevaluating your herd, your personal herd, your family herd, and do you need to think more objectively about it, take a wider view? Do you need to take some risks in that area? And how do you need to break away? Maybe you might need to literally break away from family in some way. It's also the house of emotions and karmic emotions. So this is a really deep time for healing for you and opportunities for you to access and literally shake up some deeply held karmic emotions and feelings and break away from them and heal from them for yourself, but also on behalf of your ancestors too. So this is a very introspective placement. So lots of time for thinking inwards, nurturing your emotions, perhaps writing a journal, things like that. Moving on to the fifth house. The fifth house is all about self-expression. It's the house of Leo. So it's how you show up and express your own true, unique self in the world. It's very individualistic, and it's all about finding your sense of joy. It's about the immediate gratification of joy in the moment in a positive way as possible. And it's about things like sexuality as well, which is part of the joys of life, and about artistic expression, anything that brings you joy. So it's time to shake up your beliefs around all of these sorts of things and break free from herd thinking around what joy means for you, how you find joy, what sexuality means, how you wish to express yourself. Taking a risk in expressing your unique self in more radical ways is a great thing for you to do at this time. Then we move on to house number 6. So if the conjunction falls here, this is the house of daily work and your job, the job that you go to each day to earn a living. So there's lots of beliefs and herd thinking to be shaken up with your place of work and how you earn a living in general. Is it truly what you want to be doing? Could you possibly be doing something different that's more satisfying, even if it is a bit unusual? How have you bought in to collective mentalities around work and duties and service? This is the house of duties. So have you been taking on duties that are unnecessary, or do you need to have a different mindset towards your duties and obligations in life and break free from them somehow? Take risks with your job and your employment in some way. And it's also the house of health and healthcare in general. So you may need to take a different perspective on your health, a new route, a new path, shake things up. What are your belief systems around health and well-being, and do they need looking at? Moving on to house number 7, which is this one here. So we're above the horizontal line now. So house number 7 is about relationships. This is a highly relational place for this particular conjunction to be in. It's all about relationships. It's about fairness and balance within relationships. So it's about breaking free from herd thinking and mentalities and collective belief systems around relationships. Are you married but don't actually want to be married? Are you single but don't actually want to be single, but you have a belief system somehow around the need to be married, or the need to be with someone or not with someone? Can you shake those up and think differently about those things? Do you have very personal, limited views on what fairness and balance means in relationships? And can you break free of those somehow? And can you take new risks with relationships? Perhaps seeking out people that are more your kind, your tribe, or different or unusual in some way, so that you can expand your mind through the people that you meet. Moving on to house number 8, which is where I believe, if I'm right, that Arnold Schwarzenegger currently has the conjunction. For him is house number 8. So this is a very powerful, often hidden placement for astrological events to be. When planets move through the 8th house, they are often suppressed, they are often hidden. It takes a lot of digging out, perhaps with a therapist or psychotherapist, to unveil the archetypal energy that's wanting to come through. So sometimes it can be difficult to get at, but the 8th house is about power and control ultimately. So are there areas in your life of an imbalance of power and control, perhaps with relationships with people too, where you need to take a step back and a more objective view? You need to break away from those power dynamics somehow, shake up your beliefs around what power and control actually means. Do you try and control everything? Do you need to control everything? Do you try and step into overpowering others? Do you need to do that? Do you allow others to overpower you? And do you still need to be doing that? So it's about shaking up your deepest psychological, hidden, subconscious belief systems. So if you've got the conjunction moving through here, it's probably a good idea to seek the help of a psychotherapist of some kind to help you unearth what some of those things that need shaking up might be. Moving on to the 9th house, then we're looking at belief systems. This is the house of religion. So religions often fall into collective belief systems because they are taken as correct by large groups of people. So is there a religion that you are adhering to at the moment that needs reevaluating and shaking up? Do you need to take a wider, objective perspective, a much higher view of your current belief systems? It doesn't have to be religion, though it could be organized religion. It could be whatever your own belief systems are. So for example, you could have been born with a belief system that says life is hard work and I have to try very hard to make life joyful. That's just one example of a personal belief system that permeates through every aspect of your being. So do some work to dig out what those belief systems might be. Where in life do you have the most faith? What is your faith in life like at the moment? Is it abundant faith in life, or is it somewhat limited? So take some time to work out what your faith in life is like at the moment. Take some risks with it, expand yourself, go traveling, open a new book, take on a new higher education course, do things that are going to open and expand your mind in multiple ways. Moving on to house number 10. This is the house of purpose and career and vocation. Yes, the career sits here, but again, the career is just the story on the stage of life. The higher purpose of the 10th house is our ultimate purpose and vocation in life as a soul, what you're here to do as a soul in society. So this is a really powerful placement for it to be a house for it to be moving through, because you have an opportunity here that, yes, it's personal to some degree, but if it's moving through the 10th house, it's extremely connected to the higher order and the collective. And that's the same with the 11th house as well. Then, you know, you may need to look at your career. You may need to look at your relationships with figures of authority in your life, be it parents or bosses, and to reevaluate those relationships and break free from any belief systems or dogma that you've inherited with those things, and take some risks, perhaps with your career, with your sense of vocation, how you've allowed yourself to be controlled in life. But one of the main meanings of the 10th house is success and achievement. It's a Capricorn house. So if you've been striving for success and achievement, is it authentic to you? Is it really what you truly want to do? Or is your sense of success and achievement tied into society's view of what achievement actually is? And you may need to redefine that for yourself and take some new risks and break away from herd thinking in terms of what success and achievement means. Moving on to the 11th house, again, it's personal, but also if it's moving through the 11th house for you, it's extremely tied up to our collective response to this particular conjunction. So the 11th house is all about herd thinking. It's the house of the Aquarians, and it's about how we indoctrinate ourselves into herd thinking and then hopefully break away from such thinking. It's about our dreams and our goals. So any aspiring big dreams and goals that you have at the moment, it's well worth following through on them, but making sure that they are your individual dreams and goals, not society's. Are they right for you? Do you need to take some risks at the moment in terms of your dreams and your goals? Take an objective, higher view of what those dreams and goals might look like and project your thoughts forward into the future. It's a very future orientated house, and think about how your own personal future could become radically different from the life that you have at the moment, and take steps to start actioning that different looking future for yourself. If it's moving through the 12th house, again, this is another quiet, subtle place for the conjunction to be moving through, especially because it's in the sign of Taurus. Then this is the house of spirituality and of letting go to something greater and vaster than yourself. To some degree, it's the house of God, though that's probably more the territory of the 9th house. But it is about your connection to oneness or source or spirituality in some way. So this is a time for you to go inwards and reflect, perhaps spend time meditating to discover what are your current belief systems, who you are as an individual. And it's a time for reevaluating those things, a quiet time for going within and reassessing them, so that you can then emerge once Jupiter especially moves into the 1st house in the 2nd half of this year. Then you are able to step out into the world as a new version of yourself, having gone in and done this quiet introspective reflection on your true nature and your own spirituality that's right for you, that's not been indoctrined on you by the people around you or by society. So that's the conjunction occurring through all 12 houses. I hope that that's been helpful, and please go back and watch the other video if you're interested. And again, please, if you enjoyed the video, then like the video to help me bump up the content. Thank you very much for watching.